First thing, and this is just a dig at the DC universe in general. It's so fucking dour and dark and miserable. There's almost no comedy in any of those movies. It just feels heavy to watch them. They're not lighthearted and fun, which is what you want a superhero movie to be for the most part. That's number one. Number two, the amount of times she fucking scowls at the camera and then jets off into a direction, maybe 25 times in the movie. It's so stupid. She like gets pushed back, looks, and then zooms off. I think it's 25 times in the fucking movie. It's insane. I don't know why all DC movies feel the need to do this, which is so much backstory on the childhood. If you think about Marvel movies, when was the time on any one of these movies, Iron Man, Spider-Man, whatever, where they spend time watching the kid fucking grow up? Who cares? It's so boring. They do so much of that to establish some shitty backstories that never really go anywhere anyway.
Right.
You want me to keep going?
Yes, I do. Yes. Dig a hole for this one.
Here's the thing that makes another thing that makes no sense. When I rewatched the movie just the other day, if you would have asked me 2 days ago, what war were they fighting? I would have said World War II for sure. And it's not, it's World War I. They basically made them Nazis for the most part. You would never assume that they weren't. If you just watch those scenes out of context, you would think you're watching Nazis. The Iron Crosses, everything just felt very Nazi. And also, this woman, if you want to believe Themyscira, they're out of context of the whole world, and then they just immediately side with the British. Why? Because Chris Pine's good looking? There's no basis for it. She just decides those are the good people and these are the bad people when they have no idea why. Also, if Themyscira is so easy to discover, a plane just fell in. And also, when you look at like Black Panther, they have a boundary around
Wakanda,
yeah. Where nobody could get in, and it looks fake on the outside, it looks cheap or whatever. But here, the guy just sticks his hand in and he's through the fucking shield. How did that ever prevent people for years to see them? When they finally decide to sail back to America, it's just the two of them on a fucking boat. How did they travel hours with no one sailing? They fall asleep and they wake up in LA. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. The amount of time she pulls her sword out of her dress when you can clearly see she's not wearing her armor, she's not wearing a dress, and then not wearing the sword or the boots, and then the next scene, the dress is off and she's fully clothed in her armor, makes no fucking sense whatsoever. The scene where Chris Pine is talking English but in a German accent to get into a German party makes no fucking sense. What? And they also, because they had subtitles in the movie, was he not able to learn German? Because they couldn't do that? It made no sense whatsoever. I also love it. I can't believe that they didn't get shit for this. When I watched it, I thought it was funny. It was such like a hacky, stereotypical ragtag group of guys. It's a Scottish guy who's a heavy drinker. It's a Turkish guy who's always wearing a fez. Like, it was playing to every fucking stereotype to the point of it being almost embarrassing. You have to ask yourself, why did Steve have to kill himself on the plane? He could have just parked it somewhere else and blew it up from a distance. Why the fuck did he need to kill himself? It made no sense whatsoever. Generally, the whole thing felt long and boring. You never really fully understand Wonder Woman's powers. At the end, she gets some sort of like fucking lightning bolt power that has never been described or addressed or whatever. She just knew how to do it, which made no sense whatsoever. And also, the other part that's just so insignificant that bothered me, but when she got to LA, this woman who speaks all these different languages and apparently is so worldly is like, oh, why are couples holding hands? I don't understand what's going on. You don't understand basic affection? When you understand everything else about the nuance of these languages, it makes no fucking sense. I found it boring. I found it dragged on, and I just fucking hated it.